Good afternoon. Good evening. Welcome to Gladewater Stadium, home of the Fighting Bears. Jack V. Murphy Stadium. We're here for a game tonight. 7:30 kickoff time between the White Oak Roughnecks and the Gladewater Bears. Both teams are coming in tonight with a undefeated district record for each team, and the Bears are currently ranked at the number 10 position. Dylan, I believe that was in Dave Campbell's.
That was Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Fox Sports Southwest has them ranked number 10 in 3A right now.
So I think they maybe started the season there, and then they kind of fell out of there. But now they're back up at the number 10 spot. Tonight we have Dylan Bacon back in the other chair, as I call it tonight, in the place of Mr. Coach Robert Reynolds. And we'd like to give a shout out to Robert, just hoping he's doing good. We know he's missing being here, but we're in good hands with Dylan over here, and we'll somehow make it through here tonight. We also every week we do this, but we've talked about it again pre-game, so to speak, just to thank the UIL for their bending the rules and changing things due to COVID, so that we have the ability to stream a game, so that the 50% of our crowd that can't be here has something to watch and listen to at home in real time, so to speak. So shout out to the UIL for being adaptive and innovative and allowing that to happen, just due to the nature of our times going on here. We also have tonight is senior night for the Gladewater Bears. We counted on the roster 13 seniors. They have already had their moment in the pregame before we started here. So we really just want to give a big shout out to the seniors who have made it through the program. According to the Gladewater Bears schedule, there's White Oak tonight. Next week they play their game in Sabine against the Sabine Cardinals. And then their last week before the playoffs is an open date, which is, I think, pretty good scheduling, so that if you have any nagging injuries or things like that, you get a chance for guys to get well and just have a break from the grind of the battlefield for one Friday night before you get back in and start the playoffs. So one other thing, we have been having a camera on the field. And there's a young lady that this is her second game, and she is Morgan Dans, senior. So we want to give her a big shout out for the work she does on the field. I think everybody likes looking at the game as opposed to Dylan and I up here in the press box. So give her a big shout out. Also, we continue to get comments and sometimes criticism, but for the most part, everything that gets back to me has been positive, and I think people are enjoying the broadcast. So, Dylan, I'm going to turn it over to you for a couple of minutes as the players walk out, and let you just give us some stats. And I know throughout the night you'll be giving us those from time to time as well.
Well, Sam, I'll tell you, there's a whole lot of intrigue coming into tonight's game with the Roughnecks and the Bears. As you mentioned before, both of them are undefeated in district play. Gladewater's at 4-0. And White Oak is 3-0. White Oak is coming off a 30-11 victory against Sabine last week. And then, of course, Gladewater last week traveled to Jefferson and put up 51 against the Bulldogs, 51-13 victory. Rushed for 402 yards in that game last week, which I think it's safe to say this team is known for passing. With Tristan Holmes, 1,410 yards passing coming into tonight's game. But for the last couple of games, the Bears have been pounding the ground. And I want to take a second just to feature those rushers. There's not one, Sam, not two, but three rushers on this team with more than 400 yards on the season. The team leader in rushing yards is none other than Eli Carter with 61 carries, 685 rushing yards on the season coming into tonight's game. And he's averaging, here's the coolest thing I think, he's averaging 11.2 yards a carry. So just about every time you hand him the ball, he's moving the chains.
Wow, that's good.
Malachi Gordon and the big tank Devin Walker. Devin Walker actually leading the team in carries with 81. Devin Walker with 409 yards, and Malachi Gordon coming into tonight's game with 75 carries and 408 yards. So Gladewater knows how to pound the ground. They know how to establish that running game, and we've talked ad nauseum about all of Coach Levere's options there on offense. But we didn't mention that they are a passing team. Tristan Holmes, 1,410 yards passing coming into tonight's game. He averages 20.5 yards per completion.
That's good. Very good.
That's very good. And 910 of those yards have been received by none other than DJ Allen, who is a junior, by the way. We're not honoring him for senior night tonight, but expect him next year. He's caught 11 touchdowns. Your second receiver with the most yardage on the team is a sophomore, Colin Lewis, with 341 yards and 4 touchdowns. And it's a good thing Gladewater puts up those points. They're averaging 47 points a game. White Oak is averaging 32 points a game on their season. But now here's the difference maker that makes this kind of interesting. White Oak has only allowed opponents 19 points a game. Their defense is stout, where their average points per game not necessarily as loud and boisterous as the Bears offense is. So it's going to be a struggle tonight. We'll see. It's going to be a battle.
You talked a little bit about the Gladewater defensive stats in their last 2 or 3 games. Why don't you share that real quick before I talk about some of our preseason stuff we saw for each of these teams?
Yeah, so on the defensive side, overall through the season, Gladewater's allowed 28 points a game. But in the last 3 games, they've held opponents to 18 points each game. So the defense has really come alive, especially in these last 3 games. Of course, Nick Lincoln, 47 solo tackles. 47 tackles all by himself, leading the team in that stat.
I know we call his name a lot.
We call his name a lot. We call Rajon Johnson with 9 tackles for a loss. He leads the team. And, of course, we can't forget other names like Logan Bohannon, Austin Verner. We call his name quite a bit. And so it's gonna be a pretty interesting game tonight as White Oak runs out from underneath their oil rig, their oil derrick. And they come out, and they're waving the "come and take it" flag. That I'm a student of history, Sam, but they ought to be careful with those kind of shots at Gladewater. Gladewater may just about make them regret that one tonight. We'll see.
Well, let me tell you a little bit. I've got the 2020 football season preview, and I've pulled down to Gladewater Bears versus White Oak. So this was done obviously a while back, but it says the Roughnecks were 0-10 last year, 0-10.
Quite a turnaround season this year.
It is. They returned 8 offensive starters and 7 defensive starters, and they were predicted that they might not compete for a playoff berth, which that's obviously proven not to be the case, but that they might spoil another team's chances. So with that in mind, certainly they have proven the preseason not to be quite so accurate in their polling, but the most important poll is the one at the end of the season, of course.
Absolutely. Nothing establishes facts like points on the board.
But you know, when I was coaching here at Gladewater, I'll tell you this, as the Bears take the field, the worst week, everyone thought Gilmer was a big rival, and they were, but Coach Murphy would be more upset about the White Oak Roughnecks game because, as he used to say, they're 7 miles down the road. They're in our backyard. They don't need to come over here and get a win from our backyard. So always for coaches especially was a very hard week because Coach Murphy was so intricate and detailed. He questioned everything that we did during the White Oak week. So it still hasn't changed a whole lot. They're our neighbors, and it's still a big game, and records are kind of out the door. But this time they both come in with spotless district records. So we're lined up here. Looks like we're getting ready for the pledge. I'm sorry, the national anthem. You can tell an old school person because they talk about the Pledge of Allegiance. So But we are going to do the national anthem as the players are lined up. And Dylan, is there anything else that you want to go over before we finish that and have the coin toss? I think we can probably talk through that if you need to.
Well, and it's funny you talk about kind of the rivalry aspect with the White Oak Gladewater game. You know, rivalries die hard, and it seems like district rivalries die even harder. And you and I were talking before the game that arguably this game could have a lot of impact on whoever comes away with the district title.
Absolutely.
White Oak is 3-0 in district, but they're only 4-0 on the season. They opened up the season with a win against New Diana in week 1, and then school shut down because of some issues with a little bug that's been going around for a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's kind of well known, but
so then I don't even have to name it. But they shut down a little bit, lost some games as a result of that. So Gladewater's actually coming into this with a record of 6-2. I don't know what kind of advantage that's going to give as far as if they're more rested or if they're less experienced. So we'll see if that plays into anything. But I will throw this one more thing out about our run game. Eli Carter with 97 yards a game, 98 yards per game, and then the top 3 rushers are averaging 7.2 yards a game. So I would say, at any point, if Coach Levere decides he's going to establish that run game, he'll pretty well establish it however he wants.
Well, that's been the case, and one thing I know about White Oak and White Oak kids and coaches, and that is they are going to be well coached and they're going to be prepared. You might outman them, you might beat them, but they're not going to give up and they're not going to quit, and they're going to come ready to play. So I know the Gladewater Bears will, simply because it's White Oak. So as we get out on the field, we have Nick Lincoln as one of the captains. I believe is that number 5?
Yes, sir. That is correct. That's Nick Lincoln as a captain. And for White Oak, we got Jackson Frazier coming out to represent them there at midfield.
Okay. So they're having the toss and getting ready to flip that coin to determine what their options are and who wins the toss. It's up in the air. Hits the ground. Looks like White Oak won the toss. They are going to receive. And which end will Gladewater defend? Gladewater will defend the south end zone. So Gladewater will kick off. White Oak will receive as we get ready to start this game and get the first quarter underway.
Sam, it's 2 undefeated teams coming in here. 2 district rivals, 2 historic rivals, and then it's senior night on top of that. You have to imagine that there's quite a bit of emotion down here for these young men, particularly those 13 seniors that were honored at the beginning of the game.
It's got to be a big night. Gladewater has been talking about this since last year. They knew they were a young team last year and had plenty to build on. And I'm sure in the White Oak camps after an 0-10 season last year, I'm sure they still set their mark high. You don't go from an 0-10 to where you are now, undefeated in district play, without a lot of hard work and goal setting and just a lot of determination and some good coaching and good athletes. So we're expecting a good game tonight, and we'll do our best to give you the play-by-play and set it up as we go along. So White Oak is on the field. Gladewater's on the field. White Oak is lined up to receive the kick.
Got Justin Hassick set to kick off. He's a senior for the Gladewater Bears, wearing that number 47. Back deep to receive for White Oak is Noah Carter. Hassick moves in. He's going to kick it off.
Onside. And number 23 for White Oak, I believe, handled that.
Number 40. 23, it bounced off his hands there.
Yes, and that was Landon Griffith. And they recover, so White Oak will have the ball on the, looks like the 47-yard line. And they will take over. First and 10.
They're set up. Quarterback's back in the gun. 2 wide outs to the left. He's going to take the snap. Hands off to number 8. He's going to cut up the middle. Brought down. That was Logan Bohannon. And Austin Werner on the stop there.
I believe that was Austin Werner. That play was just a handoff that started left into the wide receiver side and a cut back, and he just got back to the line of scrimmage.
Your ball carrier was the captain, Jackson Frazier. As number 1 takes a snap. Lateral pass over there to Frazier will be incomplete. Your quarterback is Dylan Krieger. He's a junior himself.
And they're running the first 2 formations out of the pistol with 1 setback behind the quarterback, 2 wide receivers left. And, again, they can do a lot of things out of that. So, Dylan, take this play again, and same formation looks like.
Same formation. Krieger's back. He's got 1 man behind him. He's going to take the snap. He's rolling left. He's looking. He's scrambling in the – and he's wrapped up. That was Nick Lincoln beginning that. Wrapping him up, carrying him back. That was Logan Bohannon supporting him a little bit there. So right off the bat, Sam, we've got 4th and long, looks like.
And we've got a penalty at the 45, 46-yard line.
That was charged against White Oak, and it has been declined.
So that will bring up a 4th down from the 43-yard line. Looks like a punt formation.
Long snapper sets. They're taking a little bit of time here. Punter asked for it. That's number 4. It's going to go way back there.
And it takes a Gladewater bounce just inside the 30 at about the 27-yard line. Maybe the 26 where Gladewater will take over with a fresh set of downs.
That was Brian Smith, your punter for the Roughnecks. I don't know the Roughnecks as well by their numbers as I do the Bears at this point. Sam Dusek was the Roughneck that stopped that ball.
Well,
and it was blown dead.
The White Oak defense is now on the field. Gladewater breaks the huddle.
Lined up, looks like a 4-3.
And they got 2 wide receivers, 2 backs for Gladewater.
Tristan Holmes under center. He's going to take the snap. Handoff to the – just kidding. He's going to pitch it right. That's Eli Carter. He'll go right. Then he's heading back to the left sideline. And that's going to look like about a 5-yard – that's going to look like a first down,
That's a first
Sam.
down. What happened, we had a good fake by the fullback. Quarterback ran the option, pitched, and then the running back reversed his field and went from one sideline all the way to the other and made enough yardage with a couple of key blocks to pick up a first down. So Big Tank on that play had a good fake that kind of drew him in there.
It kind of drew me in there too. This time Holmes is going to line up in the gun. He's got a man to his left in the backfield, 2 wideouts to the left. He'll take the snap. Hands off to Carter again. And Carter gets wrapped up there. He's about a 4-yard gain on that.
Finds a little bit of room on that left side toward the White Oak bench. That's going to bring up a 2nd and about 7, I'm guessing, maybe 6.
Well, I led our audience astray a little bit. Looks like they've got a 3-man front, White Oak does, on the defense. Got 2 linebackers in the back. As Gladewater breaks the huddle. 2 men wide to the right. Holmes under center. In that I formation, he's handing off to Carter. Carter up the middle of the field. He'll be brought down at the top of the numbers at midfield.
And that's going to be about a 3rd and 2 situation coming up. That was just a give to the tailback, and on that left side, kind of an off-tackle play.
That was Sam Dusek on the tackle for the Roughnecks.
Gladewater.
So 3rd and short situation here. Holmes under center, back in the power I. He's got a man wide on either side. Calling an audible. He's changing the play, looks like. He'll take the snap, drops back, hands off to Carter again, and Carter is tackled in the backfield. That's for about a 2-yard loss.
So that'll bring up a 4th, and I'm going to call it 4th and 4. Looked like as Carter was hit, maybe he lost his footing a little bit and went down, but he did look like he changed that play at the line a little bit. They were all in the box, geared up to stop the run for sure.
White Oak bringing a whole lot of pressure up the middle there.
The ball on the Gladewater 48, just shy of it.
And Gladewater's going on 4th down here. Holmes in the gun this time. He'll take the snap. He's keeping it himself up the middle. He crosses midfield and he loses it.
Let's see what
looks who's going to come up with it. Looks like Holmes is coming up with it.
He had enough for the first down. I'm not sure whether they'll spot that ball.
Looks like they're giving him forward progress for a first down.
But
that was a scary first down.
It was. He took a hard lick. That ball shot out, and it looked like he covered his own fumble. We're not sure once they piled up in there. But that'll be a first down. Ball just into the Roughneck territory. Now we got an official timeout.
Looks like they're going to come out and measure it. They're not showing first down just yet. They're not willing to move the chains.
I hope they had that chain marked because they've already moved the chains a little bit.
They're calling it White Oak ball. They're saying White Oak came. They're saying he.
So now it's going to go over on downs.
So Holmes came up with it, but they're ruling it that it wasn't a first down. He didn't have enough. Either he lost it before he crossed the plane or something like that, or before he broke
I'm just
down.
thinking once that ball came out and had to be covered, it's where that ball's covered, and it was not quite enough for the first down. So White Oak takes over on downs at the 49.5-yard line. They've got 2 wide receivers at the top, one split out down low. Everybody waiting for the ball to be set. Officials having a little meeting down there. I don't know what they're discussing.
Well, and Sam, we talked about a defensive game, and so far, 2 offensive drives. We've had a punt from White Oak and a turnover on downs resulting in Gladewater. So both sides just kind of exchanging blows right now. Hadn't broke the stalemate yet. Officials conversing over there with the White Oak coaches.
White Oak's offense is set while they're waiting. They have 2 wide receivers up top to their sideline. Number 10 split low to our sideline. And one slot back, really kind of a number 25 playing kind of the fullback position. And that looks like Michael Stevens, number 25 for White Oak. So now it looks like they're coming to tell Gladewater what was going on. Officials getting set up again. And we are ready to go as soon as they set the clock.
Krieger's sitting back in that. He's set back in the gun. 2 wideouts to the right, like Sam said. He's going to hand it off to Frazier, who will run up the middle just to the right side for about a 1.5 yard gain there for second down for the Roughnecks.
So ball's on the right hash, 49 of Gladewater.
No huddle offense. Krieger takes. He's given the hard count. Looks like he's trying to pull Gladewater off sides a little bit. He comes back up. He's given additional direction. He'll take the snap. And that's a flag on the play. It looks like false start. That is false start charged against the Roughnecks, so we'll back it up a few yards and try second down again.
Okay.
So we're set back up. Krieger's back there in the gun. 2 wideouts to the right. He'll take the snap. He's rolling over left. Pressure in the backfield. He's brought down.
That is a significant loss.
That is Eli Cates with the huge sack.
And Eli Cates, we call his name a lot as well, so that's going to bring up about 24 yards needed for a first down here. Be 3rd and 24. Ball's now on the left hash.
Memory serves, that makes Eli Cates your team leader with sacks now. That's his 3rd on the season.
And checking in for the Bears is Xavier Woods. And he comes in to take Trent Bolt's place.
Well, that sets him back 14 yards. Krieger will set up in the gun. He's got 3 wide to the right side. He'll take the snap. He's looking right. Throws. Pass caught and breaks the tackle, but he's going to lose some. It was caught in the backfield by Colton Cobb, and he's brought down by a brigade of Bears.
And that was just the little jailbreak screen, and they read that well with no room to run. So it looks like 4th and long, 4th and about 25, so it'll bring up a punting down for the Roughnecks.
And again, that is, I believe, Brian Smith set to punt. He'll take it, kicks it.
Low snap, he fields clean.
End over end, and it will bounce out of bounds just about the 32-yard line of the Bears.
So the Bears will start their second possession. We have 6:02 left in the first quarter. Ball will be placed on the, looks like 31-yard line.
I was off by
right hash, I know. I would say that was a pretty good eye for it, though, because we had players where it actually went out and couldn't see that.
Well, either pretty good eye or a lucky eye. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
So 2 punts by White Oak so far, and a turnover on downs by Gladewater.
Holmes will line up under center back in that power I formation. He's got receivers on either side of him, 2 men in the backfield. We'll see if they can make some noise in this drive as he takes a snap, hands off to the Tank. And Tank is stopped up the middle. That's about a 2-yard gain. We'll bring up 2nd and 8. Handing it to Devin Walker. We're going to call him the Tank all game because that's pretty much about the most appropriate name we've got for him. Gladewater breaking the huddle. White Oak strong on that right side, their defense. Holmes back under center. Same setup as before. He'll take the snap. Looking to pass. He'll toss it over to Colin Lewis. It'll go incomplete. We'll bring up 3rd down.
And that pass was a little bit high, maybe slightly behind him, but Colin did have good position, just a little bit better thrown ball, and maybe it's
correction, it's an eye, not a power eye. Thank you.
And
our friend Robert watching the game. Sorry about that, y'all.
And Mr. Reynolds, I was just fixing to point that out to Mr. Bacon here. I had a little I formation draw and was going to show him what the power versus not power. So it is an I formation that they were in, though.
This time Holmes is in the gun, and I do know that one. He'll throw it.
Oh, and that hits.
Pass intended for Kavier Reese. It'll bounce off his chest as he's hit by a man on the White Oak secondary.
So that ball was thrown, good defense, and just timed out a hit very nicely. So on the second possession, Gladewater Bears are lined up in the punt formation.
That's Hassick again, set to punt. Looks like we got a timeout, and it is charged against Gladewater, so that's their first of the half. And Sam, I'll tell you, as I get up some district scores to talk about here from around the area, you never quit learning things. So
that is true.
Some games of interest from around the district. Jefferson and Tatum right now tied 0-0. They're just now getting started. And then just one of intrigue as White Oak comes out from the timeout. Carthage up 7-0 over Rusk. So punt formation, Hassick set in the back. Looks like you've got, that's Colton Cobb back deep for White Oak. And he's calling fair catch. And he doesn't come up with it. And Gladewater's got it.
There's no flags. I don't see any flags. So he comes up to field the ball.
That was Zay Campbell bringing it up.
Bobbles it, and the Bears, on a big turnover, will take over at the 42, 43-yard line. And so they've got new life and a new drive.
As we've seen in some of these other Gladewater Bears games, what separates the good teams from the great teams is capitalizing on the breaks. So they're in White Oak territory as Holmes sets up under center in the I formation. And we'll see if they can capitalize on this. As he takes the snap, he drops looking to pass. Pass incomplete, intended for DJ Allen.
Just a little bit high on that pass. DJ in good position. If that ball's a little lower, it could possibly be 6. So Gladewater trying to air it out a little bit. Be second down and 10, 43-yard line on the right hash.
Well, and you can see why this White Oak defense is, why we talked about it in the beginning of the game. They're giving Gladewater a run for their money. As Holmes sets back up under center, same setup as before. He'll take the snap. Hands off to Carter. Carter up the middle. That's going to be about a 7-yard gain on that carry. So it'll bring up about a 3rd and 3.
Carter on just a little tailback draw out of that eye, and brings us up to 4:45 left in the first quarter.
That's about a 3rd and 4.
Third and 4 is what they call it on the scoreboard too. So 2 of us are right anyway. 3 of us.
That works for me. Gladewater will break the huddle this time. Holmes back under center. Got the tank in the backfield as well as Carter. He'll take the snap. Hands it to the tank. Tank will go up the middle, and he is stopped short. That's about a 1-yard gain.
Looks like he's going to be a couple yards short of the first down. And, you know, typically when you see a defense that takes away something like so far, and it's early in the game, we've only played about 8 minutes so far, but they've kind of taken away that fullback quick dive. But I don't know that they can keep stopping that and not give up something else. So it may take a little while for adjustments to take place and Gladewater to find that soft spot, but I'm sure they're working on it as we speak.
Well, they're pounding away at this front line of White Oak as Holmes lines up under center. Hands it off to Walker. Walker plowing forward.
And you know,
he had a run. Let's see if it's good enough.
We'll see where this spot is. It's going to be close. They may want to measure that. Nope,
looks like it's going to be a turnover on downs.
They're calling it short, and where that ball is spotted, it is short.
Boy, he hit that middle, and he worked.
You know, we talk about this game being a game of inches. Those first downs that they haven't made have been, I'm going to say, less than a foot short. Just a game of inches for real. So ball goes over. White Oak takes over from their own 34-yard line right hash.
Krieger will set back up. He's got in the gun. He's got one man behind him. He'll take the snap. Hands off. That is to number 9. Who'll run it up the middle. That is Bohannon bringing him down.
And also on that, I believe, was Johnson on that one.
Rajon Johnson. We've called his name a couple times before.
He's busy. Most nights he is busy.
That was Jackson Frazier, your ball carrier, number 8. My mistake. He's getting the lion's share of the handoffs tonight. As Krieger will set back up in the gun. He's doing the hard count. Looks like he's, like I said a second ago, it looks like he's trying to pull Gladewater off sides.
They maybe are just trying to take advantage of that aggressive factor of the Bears. But they're hanging in there and sitting tight right now.
As he takes the snap, he'll hand it off to Frazier, who's tackled.
He's hit in the backfield there. I believe that was Bohannon that made the first contact on him.
By the way they're slapping his helmet when he got up, I would have to agree with that.
So that was a loss of about a yard.
So it's 3rd and long again for the Roughnecks. neither offense seems to be able to get loose.
So as White Oak waits for their play, they've got one wide receiver down into the Gladewater sideline, and they've got one up by their sideline, and 2 men in the backfield and quarterback in the shotgun.
Krieger doing the hard count, takes the snap. He's going to roll right, looking for his man. Throws. Pass incomplete. Intended for Gavin. Oh, my goodness. How do I pronounce this name?
Let me look at that one. That was Colton Cobb, I think, number 5 out there.
I can pronounce Colton Cobb. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that one's a lot easier. So we'll say it's Colton this time, but I think it was.
Whoever it was going to, it was incomplete, and it'll bring up 4th down for the Roughnecks, and they're back in punt formation.
So in the past few weeks, the special teams for Gladewater have done well. Snap is high, punt is off.
You got DJ Allen back, and he's gonna pick it
up.
And he's gonna run with it. He's at the 30. He's breaking. He's at the 35, and he's brought down at about the 36-yard line over here on the Gladewater side.
So that's about a 7 or 8 yard return.
Helped up by number 51, Dylan Miller of the Roughnecks. That was a nice gesture. So Gladewater will take back over 1st down on their own 36-yard line.
Ball's on the right hash. So we have 1:45 left in the first quarter. No score. 3 punts for the Roughnecks. Gladewater breaks the huddle.
Sam, this isn't something we're used to at Jack V. Murphy Stadium this season. Is almost an entire first quarter without Gladewater putting points on the board. As Holm lines up under center, takes a snap, drops back, looking for his man, throws down the field. That's Colin Lewis with the catch.
Colin Lewis made a great catch at the 31-yard line over his shoulder and just had to is a little bit behind him, but he did a great job. Gladewater with a hurry up now.
Holmes under center, takes a snap, hands off to Malachi Gordon this time. Gordon up the middle, and that's about a 2-yard gain. But goodness gracious, that was about a 40-yard pass over there to Colin Lewis for that huge 1st down.
And then Gladewater doing a little out of character with a hurry-up second play after a big gain. So now they're huddled up and got the play coming in.
They'll break the snap and line back up.
DJ Allen up at the top.
You got Malachi Gordon back deep again in the backfield. Holmes under center. Takes a snap, drops back, looking pass, throwing right. And it's Colin Lewis with the touchdown catch.
I tell you what, he threw that ball up. Colin adjusted his route. He was running down the right sideline, and he just broke back toward the post a little bit, had his man beat, and it was just a catch on the run. It was a very pretty play.
Well, we go a couple of possessions without any Gladewater points, and the Bears decided that was enough.
So Bears with 55.4 seconds left. Bears kicking the PAT after their first score.
Hassek's PAT is good.
So 7-0. Score by the Bears at the very end of the first quarter here. And we'll get to see their kickoff team, which we've seen a lot, but not a lot of tonight.
Well, Sam, remember going into this, Colin Lewis, 341 yards receiving coming into this game. He's got 4 touchdowns, make that 5 now. And I would say in 2 plays, he probably amassed about 70 yards receiving just then.
He had 2 big plays on that drive for sure. Two nice catches. So, and good throws, both of those. And so it looks like maybe Tristan Holmes kind of settling in and got it figured out. It was a little windier early today. And so I still see the strips on the goalpost with a little bit of breeze, but not hard like it was earlier.
Yeah, we had some storms blowing through. Thankfully, we're blessed with some pretty clear weather right now.
And a lot cooler. So, they've been playing in some kind of warm weather, but now a really nice night for a ball game tonight.
Well, Hassek set to kick off for the Bears. And he'll kick. It's going long, going deep. That's picked up by Frazier. He's going to run, and he's stopped.
And he catches that ball on about the 15 or 16-yard line and gets to the 29.
And then he ran into Nick Lincoln, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, so about a, 12, 13-yard return.
I trust your judgment, Sam. Well, so White Oak now starting deep inside their own territory, seeing if they can retaliate. And
I've got trips to the right, single setback shotgun.
hard count from Krieger, the quarterback, as he set up in the gun. Throws in the backfield lateral to Frazier, and it'll be incomplete. He'll bobble it a little bit and try to fall on top of it, but nothing happening.
And they may be calling that ball a lateral. It's down right there. That's not an incomplete pass. That's a lateral. That's just going to be a little swing pass to the lone setback, but that is actually a loss of almost 5 yards on that play. So if the Bears could have got on that, that would have been another turnover for them.
At any rate, it's a 2nd and 14 right now for White Oak. They've got 2 receivers over here on the left side. As Krieger sets back up in the gun, he's got a man behind him. He'll hand it off. It's Frazier. Frazier up the middle. And he'll get back to the original line of scrimmage. That's stopped by Ben Alvarez.
And I'm not sure. Zay Campbell may have been in on some of that too. So we've got a pause in the action as the first quarter comes to an end. Bears leading the Roughnecks 7-0. We'll move the chains and swap ends of the field, and we'll start the second quarter here in a minute.
And Sam, some scores from around the area, around East Texas. Winona at ARP right now, taking on the Tigers in the first quarter, tied 7-7. Troop 6-0 over Grand Saline. Art Browell's boys up there in Mount Vernon, tied with Winsboro 7-7. And Gilmer behind Liberty Ilo 8-7.
And they are playing at home in Gilmer tonight as well.
And in some of the big school action, you got Jacksonville 13-0 over Hallsville. And Longview High School 7-0 over West Mesquite. Boy, that's a trip. That's probably a 2-hour drive those guys had to make to get over there.
Exactly. West Rusk over Harmony. Did you call that one out?
I did not.
Okay. 7-0 right now.
I saw West Rusk play Winona last week. West Rusk's doing a lot of things right. Krieger will set over here in the gun. He'll take the snap. He's rolling left. He's keeping it, looking for his man. Throws left. And pass will go incomplete. Intended for Colton Cobb. Goes just out of reach of his hands. And so that will bring up 4th down for the Roughnecks. So the Gladewater Bears, the Brigade of Bears, as Avon so correctly dubbed them, forcing a punt situation on the Roughnecks.
Yeah, and most of White Oak's passing has been out of what I would call a rolling pocket, just where the quarterback's not sitting back there. He's moving wide, and he may have a run-throw option.
Well,
and that
snap
one
goes
was
a little bit high there.
Almost blocked. That was a high snap, and it rolls out. It's just shy of out of bounds on the 36.5-yard line. So Gladewater will take over to start their first drive of the second quarter with 11:46 left on the 36-yard line on the left hash toward their sideline. So let's see what they've got in mind for this series. Dylan?
White Oak offense unable to convert. So he scored a touchdown passing. Let's see if the White Oak front line has been merciless on the run game up to this point.
They've really, it's been hard to make more than 2 or 3 yards at a time. But
they'll break the huddle. Holmes is under center, back in that eye that we're so accustomed to seeing. He'll take the snap, fakes the handoff, drops back. He's throwing downfield. It's DJ Allen. DJ Allen catches it. He's in the end zone. That's a touchdown. That's about a 70-yard catch.
And I see Noah Carter was one of the 2 White Oak Roughnecks defending. I didn't get the number on the other one, but they didn't take long to strike again. So they faked the run up the middle. He dropped back in the pocket, laid it out deep, and the rest is history. So we're lined up here to kick the extra point now.
Well, and we talked about as Hassick's PAT is good. Well, we've talked about before how many different options Coach Levere has here on offense. If the run isn't working, he switches over to the passing game, and the passing game has been real effective up to this point. 3 passes. You result in a first down on 1 completion and 2 touchdowns on the next 2.
That is correct. So we're at 11:35 into the second quarter, and we've seen 2 touchdowns in about the last 2 minutes of play, maybe 2.5 minutes. So things kind of opening up for the Bears. We'll look for the White Oak Roughnecks to maybe make some adjustments. And I don't know what to tell them. There's so many tools, I don't know if you can stop them all. You just, it's close, but that pass was laid right in there, and DJ caught it on the run. It was a good play and a great touchdown.
Well, that's what you have to appreciate about the Bears, and I might be biased, and we have to admit that to our fans and our audience, but Gladewater's defense kept them in the game. They didn't give up any points to White Oak in the first quarter and have yet to yield any. As Hassick gets set to kick off for the Bears, give the offense long enough to get everything rolling and put points on the board. As Hassick gets a little onside kick, a lot of action happening right there in the middle.
They're saying it's a Gladewater ball.
And that is none other than Justice Hassick, the kicker, coming up with it.
Well, the last 2 or 3 kickoffs, I see a flag. We may have an offside. I see a flag laying down here on the Bear sideline at about the 41-yard line. So they're discussing that. But while they're doing that, they've lined up the kicker and a safety in the middle, and the other guys are split wide and bunched up like they could onside kick either way. And they've done one to their left, and that one was right up the middle. So they had them split wide, and it is going to be offside against the Bears. So we'll probably see them back it up 5 and re-kick. So we had somebody that broke that plane before that ball was put into play, and they'll have to move back to the 35 for their kickoff this time. So we'll see how they line up and what they do this time.
Well, Sam, do you attempt the onside kick again, or are you just booting it at this point?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of, you're giving them 5 more yards if you don't get it, but it's got to go to the 45 now instead of to the 50. So same formation that they're lined up in, and let's see how they kick it. I'm going to say deep, but, I don't know.
Well, Hassick's making his move, and he is going to kick it. It's a line drive.
Low kick taken at the 14.
Picked up by number 8 by Frazier, and he'll run about 10 yards, and he's brought down. That is
single digit. I'm trying to see who it is. No, is it number?
It's number 4, and he's not on my roster, Sam.
I see a 5. I'm thinking that's Nick Lincoln I saw in there. But I don't have a 4 on the Gladewater roster.
Neither do I, but there's definitely a 4 out there.
You may have a little bit of fuzz on your binoculars then.
Well, that's possible. As Krieger takes the snap, hands off to Frazier. Frazier will run up the middle. And he's brought down by a brigade of Bears, but not before he makes about a 7-yard gain.
About a 7-yard gain. So he never was really open, but he just hit the hole hard and kept driving up in there, kept his legs moving, and ended up with about a 7-yard gain. You're right.
White Oak will set back up. Krieger back in the gun. 1 man behind him.
Now they're going to get a play change from the coach.
Gladewater Bears lined up in that 4-3. 4 men on the front, 3 linebackers behind him. He'll take the snap. Hands off to Frazier again. Frazier up the middle, and he is stopped up the middle and driven backwards.
And if they mark it where he ended up on the ground, which I'm sure they'll give him forward progress, that was going to be about a 5-yard loss. But they're going to give him back to the original line of scrimmage.
And that looked like Austin Werner to me on that one. No, correction, that was Devin Walker on that one. The Tank doing it on defense, too.
Gladewater fakes the blitz by the linebackers. White Oak gets their final play.
Yeah, that was Devin Walker hitting him up the middle on that last play. Bohannon on a little bit of that action, too, finishing off the play. White Oak taking a little bit of time, and they'll take a whole timeout.
I think they were about to run out of time on the play clock. So we're at 9:47.
And that's their second timeout of the half so far. Looks like there was a flag, but the referee just waved it off. So I'm not sure what that was about.
Well, I think they called the timeout before they penalized them for the play clock running out.
That official was ready on that flag. He was ready for it.
He was watching. He was paying attention.
We can appreciate good officiating. And, you know, Sam, being an official in really any kind of sport, watching poor Little League umpires get screamed at day in and day out, I sympathize. But, you know, it's such a thankless job, and we appreciate the guys who go through the training and the study to be able to officiate these games that we have.
Well, you
on
do.
Friday nights.
So White Oak's got the ball, 3rd and 2, it looks like.
They're set up heavy with Krieger back there in the gun, takes a snap.
Oh, my
Hands
goodness.
off, and he's tackled in the backfield.
Who was that got through there and hit him first? I think that was that Logan Bohannon?
That looked like Logan Bohannon.
Oh, I'm telling you, he came through there like he was shot out of a cannon, met him in the backfield, and there was not another inch made of forward progress. That was a great play.
Frazier took one step, and Bohannon said, "No, sir, that's enough."
Either he had a called stun or he made a great read early on the run.
Well, White Oak unable to convert. They're punting here on 4th down. Punt will go straight up into the air. It'll come down out of bounds somewhere around midfield.
So that is going to be...
That's about the 45.
That is going to be a 13-yard punt.
So Gladewater is taking over inside White Oak territory. 1st down on the Roughneck 45-yard line. Over here on this left hash mark. White Oak defense gets set. Strong over here on the right side.
So over here on this side, we've got Nathan Keller. We've got DJ Allen split wide.
Holmes under center. He's going to take the snap. Hands off. That is Malachi Gordon up the middle.
Malachi finds a little crease in there, and he makes about 8 or 9 yards. I'm going to call it 8 yards.
He got through right there in that A gap. And now it's 2nd and 2.
Also got Zach Shipp on this side, depending on formation, playing that tight end position.
Well, credit to the tight end for the Bears.
Jasper Taylor on this side. I'm trying to give you the left side of this line here.
He just looks like a 6th lineman up there. Heavy over here on this left side is Holmes under center. He'll take snap, hands it right off to Walker. Walker gets loose up the middle. That's a 1st down and then some. He'll be brought down at the 25, 24-yard line.
Big Tank finally gets a little running room and picks up a 1st down.
Well, Sam, they've been pounding on that middle line so far the whole game. They were bound to find a crease eventually.
Well, Big Tank found it, and he ran a little ways too, so that was good. So Bears got a new set of downs at the 25-yard line. 1st down will be at the 15.
Gladewater will break the huddle. Holmes is back under center. He'll take the snap, dropping back, throws left.
Oh.
Pass incomplete, just off the hands of DJ Allen.
Oh, he's wishing he had another chance at that one. Ooh. That was a 6-point play. They set up strength to the right and then had play action right and threw back to the left into that. It really wasn't one-on-one coverage, but that easily could have been a catch and 6 more points.
We'll give it another try again on 2nd down as Gladewater breaks the huddle. I formation. Holmes under center. He'll take the snap. Drops back, hands it off to Gordon. Gordon up the middle, and he's going to be stopped. He's going to get he's still on his feet, but he'll get about a yard of forward progress before he's brought down.
You know, that, not to second guess anybody, I think the coaches and the players are doing a great job. That play looks like a hole wider. There's some openings there. But, of course, it might be because the guys are going where the ball was run. So you never know.
Well, credit to this White Oak Roughneck defense. It seems like they've made adjustments already so far in this first half. And they've let a couple of runs slip, but that front line isn't budging. As Holmes is under center, he'll take the snap. He'll fake it. Looking back, throws right. Caught by Lewis. About a 5-yard gain. He's brought down by, I think that's Frazier over there tackling him.
They should mark that just inside the 30, but I don't know.
We got some laundry on the field. There's a flag.
I was going to say, they're acting like there's a problem somewhere. So we'll see what they got.
Gladewater's walking backwards. I'm not sure what that means.
Well, it's not good if we're walking backwards. Let's see what they're going to call. They're stepping it off against Gladewater. So we'll repeat third down, and it's going to be third and about 19.
Okay, so
third and long.
Looked about a 10-yard penalty, maybe a holding call against Gladewater.
That's what I'm going to guess. So let's see what they got. Wide receiver 1 to the right, 2 to the left. Single setback out of the gun.
Holmes takes the snap. He's looking left, and the play is blown dead. We've got a timeout charged against the Bears, so they're going to sit and talk about it for just a second.
Okay, they were lined up with the one back. They had a single wide receiver to the White Oak side to their right, and they had 2 receivers split off to the left, and kind of an obvious throwing down, but we don't know, what the possible routes were. We just know the play was blown dead before it really got started.
Sam, what was that West Rusk Harmony score you had a second
ago?
It was 7-6?
7-0.
It is now 22-6 West Rusk over Harmony.
Okay.
In the set with 7:20 left in the second quarter.
All right. And you said you got to see West Rusk against Winona?
I got to see West Rusk against Winona last week in my free time. I'm the public address announcer over there at Wildcat Stadium.
Well, they just need to give you more jobs to do. You probably just don't have enough to do.
True enough. I'm an ag teacher on top of that.
I've been over there. I know what you have, and you got a lot going on every day. So I'm just glad you choose to come over here and try to earn your bear status over here. We appreciate it.
You know what? I'm trying to do proud by my mentor, Mr. Reynolds, and I'm trying to do proud by Bear Nation. And I hope I can say I hope y'all will accept me as an honorary Bear by the end of this. As Holmes lines up in the gun, he'll take it, throws left, pass complete.
It is a little hitch and pitch.
It's going to.
Oh,
that's
my
a touchdown.
Goodness.
Eli Carter catching it on the pitch.
I'm telling you, that was as good of a hitch and pitch as I've ever seen. Run a little hitch route in here, back flares out. He flips it to him as they converge on him, and he runs right down the sideline for another score. That was a gorgeous play. That got me excited and talking on top of you, Dylan.
Hey, I'm glad you talked on top of me because I had no idea what happened. So,
oh my goodness, that was a pretty
set
play.
With the PAT. He'll kick it, and it's good.
So, with 6 minutes, 30 seconds left in the half, we've got a Gladewater Bear lead, 21-0 over the White Oak Roughnecks. And they are pulling out the stops for sure. The old hitch and pitch, my gosh, it's still a great play.
Man, a little bit of trickeration happened in there. How many times do you practice that play right there to be able to execute it that flawlessly in a game?
Well, I'm telling you, you do it a lot. And then sometimes you throw the hitch and there's a tackle. Sometimes you throw the pitch and it's that fourth option where it rolls on the ground and they get it. So that one was really executed to perfection, and it was exciting. That was one of the most exciting plays I've seen for tonight for sure. Although I'm telling you, the catch for the touchdown by Colin was that was a great play too.
Well, and you know what makes it really nice is we can talk about these exciting, awesome plays, and it was our team that did it.
That's right.
That's also really nice.
That's always a good thing.
Hassick set to kick off for the Bears.
So I'm anxious now to see what kind of kickoff we're going to have. That's almost become as fun as trying to call plays.
Yep, Hassick kicks off. It's going to go deep.
And it's deep.
It's a line drive over there to Colton Cobb. He's going to pick it up, running over here on this left side. He's going to jump over a man, hurdle like 3/4 spin in the air, and then fall down.
Well, he took that ball at the 5, and he made it out to the 25. So a nice 20-yard return.
I think he midair cartwheeled for 5 yards.
It was kind of a cartwheel with a half twist. So very gymnastic-looking play.
Held up my little
tackle.
number card for that.
Yeah, we'll give him a rating. Certainly more athletic than I could do at this stage. So I'm glad to be a part of it and get to watch some of these young guys that have worked hard to be out there and earn their right to play on Friday night.
Absolutely. Krieger sets up in the gun. He's got one man in the backfield behind him, takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Frazier. Frazier up the middle. He'll run it up the middle. He's brought down for a short gain. That is Ben Alvarez coming up, starting that tackle, doing most of the work. So that's about a 5-yard gain. We'll bring up second down.
And the ball's on the 20, midfield. Bear defense lines up.
Set up 2 receivers over on the far side. Krieger with the hard count again. Looking over to the sideline. They're changing the play again. Krieger gives the new instructions. Hard count from the gun. Takes a snap. Hands off to Frazier and is going nowhere. He is stopped in his tracks in the backfield. That is Chris. That's that 55 or 56, Sam?
56.
That is Chris Perry. I want to make sure I give the right young man credit.
Yes, sir. He met him and introduced himself to him in the backfield, and that was where it ended. So that is going to be a loss of a couple of yards. Third down. 5:05 left in the third quarter.
Well, a credit to that Gladewater defensive line as they line back up. Krieger in the gun, hard snap, takes the count. He's looking left. He throws left. High pass. Pass incomplete, intended for Dalton Morgan. That's going to bring up a flag. It looked like a little pass interference happening.
Well, I don't know which way they're going to call that. I said third quarter. We're not in the third quarter yet. We're still in the second. But I think, in my interpretation, the defender had position and the receiver was outside him trying to get inside. And so I don't know if this is going to go against Gladewater or not. I'm a little further removed than those officials.
That's charged against Gladewater.
It is, and I'm not sure that's how I saw it. But
well, that was Tyrone Maddox with the coverage for Gladewater. Fundamentally, that looked like pretty stout coverage
yeah,
there.
But they're down there much closer than me, so I don't know what all they saw, and none of us have the ability of a replay here, so except maybe Avon, but I don't think he wants to stop the broadcast to do that replay. So a new set of downs.
Krieger will roll right, and he'll toss it, pass complete to 23. That's a big first down after the penalty. That's
Landon Griffith.
Landon Griffith.
And they just set direction and then threw back weak, and he was wide open and picks up another first down. So the biggest movement of the chains we've seen from White Oak tonight.
White Oak trying to get on the board here with about 4:30 left in the half. Krieger sets up in the gun. He'll take the snap. Hands off up the middle.
And there's
and
nothing
stopped
there.
Up the middle.
Nothing there. I see
that was
Bohannon.
Go ahead.
Bohannon, and I see also Zay Campbell getting up from that. So several hosts, I don't know if it was a brigade, but several Bears met him, and it's at the original line of scrimmage for this set of downs.
That was Gavin Zadil on the carry, number 2, as Krieger sets up in the gun. He'll fake the handoff, rolling left, pressure, and the pass will go incomplete. Well, that was a pressure in the backfield from Eli Cates, and he's been a quarterback's worst nightmare so far tonight.
Right, and then that was also intended for Landon Griffith, and same basic play, just going to the opposite direction. So it's a little bit thrown a little bit wide, falls incomplete. That'll bring us with a 3rd and 10, ball on the Gladewater 44-yard line.
I would say so.
And White Oak set in that heavy set formation to the left.
Krieger with the hard count, takes a snap, drops back a few steps, throws to his left, pass complete to Frazier. Frazier will take it, and that's about a 5-yard gain.
Little swing pass to the back out of the backfield, and he does a nice job of catching and turning it up and get about 4 or 5.
It's 4th and 5 on the Gladewater 40-yard line. I'd say I'm going for it here on 4th down.
Well, you're down by 21 with 3:29 left, so you're thinking if you don't get it, maybe you can hold them. They got 2 wide receivers down low. Shotgun formation. It's a pass.
And that is pass incomplete.
Overthrown. Pass was intended for Dalton Morgan, and it falls incomplete, and the Bears will take over on the 40-yard line of their own 40 with 3:13 left in the second quarter.
Well, and I'll remind you that Gladewater is going to receive in the second half.
That's true. So they're going to come out and get their option to receive the kickoff and start the second half with their possession.
Well, Gladewater's going to break the huddle. 1st and 10 on their own 40-yard line.
DJ Allen down here wide to the bottom.
Back in the eye, Holmes under center. He's going to take the snap. He's handed it off. That is to Malachi Gordon up the middle for about a 5-yard gain.
Malachi makes...
Oh, just kidding. That was Eli Carter, my mistake.
Eli makes 5 yards, and then he's hit hard by, I didn't get the Roughneck number, but he bounces up with a 5-yard gain. So good run there by Eli Carter.
All due respect to the White Oak Roughnecks, their numbers on their jersey are very rudely pretty tough to see. As Holmes is under center, he'll take the snap, fakes a handoff, he's throwing to the right. It's a long pass, and it falls incomplete. Pass intended for Colin Lewis. A whole lot of coverage from Ryan Friedel of the Roughnecks.
And that ball was thrown long, and if he could have caught it, but there was good coverage. You're right. White Oak had good coverage, so nobody messed up, just good plays on both sides, and that one falls incomplete.
Well, and credit to Tristan Holmes, quarterback, the senior quarterback who was honored earlier. He's got an arm, and he can air it out when he needs to.
Yes, he can. Big Tank comes out of the game for a couple plays, it looks like.
Holmes is set up in the gun this time. 2 receivers over on the far side. He'll take the snap, keep it himself. He's going to the right side, running it. He's at midfield. He'll get a couple more for the Bear, 1st down.
And that was just a designed quarterback run, and it was good for about 8 yards.
And it's coming right back.
New set. Oh, we got a flag.
Holding charged against Gladewater.
Well, that's not what we like to see. But they'll play that one over from probably 10 yards deeper. So that's probably going to bring up a 3rd and 15. It is from the middle of the field. And the clock runs with 2:26. Let's see what the Bears. I'm thinking it's maybe another passing down for the Gladewater Bears.
I would say so. Bears about 2 or 3 for 6 right now on converting 3rd downs as they break the huddle. And sure enough, Holmes is in the gun. He takes the snap, hands off. That is Carter running to the left side, and he'll be stopped in the backfield. So that'll bring up 4th down right now with 2 minutes exactly, and now 1:57 remaining in the half.
So 1:50 now, clock running. They're going to let it run a little bit. Play clock has 23 seconds on it. Gladewater does have a timeout left, so he may be going to let it run down and take a timeout. I'm not sure what they're going to do here. 10 seconds on the play clock. I think they're just burning a little time. Down to 2 seconds. We got a timeout. Gladewater will be charged with it, and it should be their last timeout of this half. So they're going to gather up on the Gladewater sideline, as is White Oak on their sideline, and try to figure out what they want to do. It is a 4th and 16 and a pretty much obvious punting formation unless you're going to try to get the first, and if you don't make it, play defense.
Well, and Gladewater we know is going to receive in the second half, so probably trying to just wait it out, limit the amount of time that White Oak can have the ball. With exception to a couple of ill-timed holding calls against the Gladewater Bears, not a lot of noise in the first quarter, but then this offense came alive in stride here in the second quarter.
Well, Hasek is in, and they are in a punt formation with 1:23 left on the game clock.
That's Cobb back deep for White Oak. It'll go straight up into the air, the punt.
He takes a good Gladewater bounce down to about the 21-yard line, where it'll be spotted on the left hash, middle of the field, I'm sorry.
Sam, you called that perfectly, and you don't have binoculars. Way to go.
Every now and then, even a blind hog can find an acorn.
Well, with the number of hogs we have in Texas, probably quite a few hogs finding quite a few acorns.
They're everywhere, I promise you. All right, White Oak with the ball.
Don't let us go off into wildlife management, folks. White Oak's going to take over offense. They've got
1:15.
Yep. Set up in the gun. He'll roll right. Still rolling. A little toss. It'll go downfield to Cobb. Cobb will catch it. He's brought down at the 40-yard line. So that's about a 20-yard catch.
And Cobb did a good job of catching that ball and settling in an open spot there. And that burned up. Their clock's running at 55 seconds.
White Oak trying to make a little noise here as Krieger takes a snap.
And we got a flag.
False start against the Roughnecks.
Well, that's going to cost them 5. It'll be 1st and 15 with 52.4 seconds left.
Krieger tosses the ball back to the official with a fair amount of chagrin there.
So clock running now, 45 seconds left.
Krieger will set back up in the gun, one man behind him. Hard count. He'll take the snap, fakes the handoff, throws it in front of him. Oh, it's broken up by Nick Lincoln. That was almost an interception to put this half to bed.
Nick, that ball was not far away. It came in there pretty hot, and Nick juggled it a little bit. Then the White Oak receiver juggled it, and then they both were wishing they'd caught it. So 33.8 seconds left. Still is 15 yards needed for the first.
And still just second down. Krieger sets back up. He's got 2 men wide to his left. He'll take the snap. He's rolling left. And little pressure, but he escapes. He's going to keep it himself. He's tripped up. He's still on his feet. He's going to keep it himself for about a 3-yard gain over there on that far left side. That'll be 3rd down.
Well, that's actually going to be about a 6-yard gain.
From
the line of scrimmage, but still 8 yards short of what they need for a first, and that will bring up 3rd down and about an 8-yard situation with 14.4 seconds left in this first half.
Well, so now, Sam, if you're Gladewater, you're going into the half potentially 21-0 here with 14 seconds left. How do you keep this momentum going? How do you keep this momentum alive going into the second half? What are you telling your players right now?
To me, it's always, I always like to start that second half by receiving the ball, and that way your defense has had a longer rest. And you just make some adjustments. Listen to your coaches when they come in from the press box. You know, we've got White Oak coaches beside us in the box, and they're doing their job and talking, and so everybody will go in and make adjustments, but really all you've got to do, you tell your Bears, is win the second half. So, even in a close game, you just want to outscore them in the second half. So, with as much as there is on the line, I don't think they're going to have to motivate them too much.
Absolutely. White Oak's back out here, takes the snap in the gun. Krieger looking. He's going to throw away downfield. Pass is brought down by Colton Cobb. A huge catch, but there is a flag on the play.
And if depending on how that flag goes, that ball should be spotted at about the 26, 25-yard line.
They're not wasting any time. Looks like that flag's picked up.
And they kill the clock with 5.2 seconds left. Ball is on the 25-yard line. So we really don't know anything about that flag, do we?
No, they never signaled anything to us, and they just picked it right back up. But credit to Colton Cobb with that huge reception downfield. That was a long pass. That's about a 60-yard reception. And
really, it was thrown a little bit short. They came back for it, but they were open. So it's a pass again.
Throws downfield, intended for Cobb, and it's picked off. DJ Allen. He's coming back. He's going to run up the middle. He's at the 20. He's pulled back a little bit by number 12 of the Roughnecks.
So they're going to probably spot that ball at the 15-yard line.
DJ Allen running back and forth across the field a little bit, eating some of that time, trying to find an escape, but that will bring it into your first half of play. Your score going into halftime, Gladewater Bears 21, White Oak Roughnecks 0. If you're still watching the coverage, we're going to give you a little bit of time to see the band, to see the Honey Bears.
I knew he was yours. Yeah, I'm talking to one of the White Oak coaches next to us. We're not really talking because we can't hear each other. He is a friend of mine, and Landon Griffiths is his son, and he just made that catch, a catch earlier. So anyway, he was making sure I knew who it was, but I knew who his son was. So anyway, as we go in at halftime, what started out as kind of a back and forth defensive struggle has ended up with a net of 21 points for the Gladewater Bears and a scare by the White Oak Roughnecks late in the game till we intercepted. So really a good ball game up to this point and kind of living up to the hype. We will see what the second half brings, and we'll let them go in and make their adjustments, and it won't take us long to know in the third quarter who made the best adjustments. So, Avon, where are we at with
Alicia Turner is escorted by her brother, Quentin Edney. She's been cheering 1 year. She says that her cheer accomplishments are memorizing all the cheers and chants after a 3-year break. She says that this is a huge accomplishment for her. She plans to attend Prairie View A&M for juvenile criminal psychology and hopefully make a difference for adolescent teens. Let's hear it for Alicia Turner. Next we have Cynthia Vicente. Cynthia Vicente is escorted by Maria and Juan Vicente. She's been cheering for 3 years. Her cheer accomplishments, she's an All-American cheer nominee. She plans to attend college, major in biology, with a focus on pre-med. Cynthia Vicente.
Can you buy me one of those? He's like, no.
Next we have Mia Medina. Mia is escorted by Chloe and Jennifer Medina. She has been cheering for 4 years. Her cheer accomplishments, she says it's up to my skills in tumbling and being the captain. Future plans are to attend Tyler Junior College to study nursing, to receive her BSN. Mia Medina. Next we have Deja Martin. Deja is escorted by the mother of Etha Martin and sister Dejanique Gordon. She's been cheering for 4 years. Her cheer accomplishments are cheer captain and an All-American. Her future plans are to attend Sam Houston to become a forensic psychologist. Deja Martin. Let's hear it for your senior cheerleaders. The Gladewater Honey Bear Line and officers would like to encourage you to celebrate with them the perseverance and can-do attitude of Gladewater during this challenging year. This football season has looked a little different, but your Honey Bears have worked hard to continue their tradition of precision, beauty, and excellence. It is our pleasure to introduce to you the 2021 Gladewater High School Honey Bears. Leading the Bears out on the field are Junior Lieutenants Kaylin Moses and Lindsay Starkey, Senior Lieutenant Madeline Timmons, and First Lieutenant Riley Hightower. And in the middle, your Captain Avery Barbour. This year's line sergeant is Jillian Moon. They are helped by the social officers, Head Tamaya Miles and Maria Nino. They did have a home camp this year provided by Encore Creative Productions and Miss Rachel Flower. The director of the Honey Bears is Mrs. Diane Clark. She is helped by her assistant, Miss Tori Huff. Sit back and enjoy this week's performance. The Honey Bears will be performing a high kick routine to hand clap. Honey Bears of the Week are our wonderful seniors. The escorts this year are Megan Perez, Brianna Newman, Rebecca Kinsey, Lindsay Robertson, and Shelby Miller. Managers are Kelsey Ondal, Lindy Robertson, and Melody Sanders. At this time, we would like to recognize our senior Honey Bears, managers, and escorts. Mrs. Clark would like to thank the girls and their wonderful parents for all that they have done throughout the tenure as a GHS Honey Bear. As I call their name, parents, if you will come meet your child out onto the field. We would like to recognize our escorts and managers and have them present their important family members with a small token of our appreciation. First, we have Kelsey Ondal. Kelsey is the first-year manager. She is joined on the field by her mother and father, Tina and Larry Ondal. Kelsey plans on attending Kilgore College to pursue an RN nursing degree. Kelsey Ondal. Next is Melody Sanders. Melody, a first-year manager, is being escorted onto the field by her father, Bobby Sanders, and her stepmom, Jennifer Sanders. She plans on going to Kilgore to start her teaching degree. Melody Sanders. Jasmine Argood. She is a 4-year Honey Bear. Meeting her on the field are her parents, Celeste and Jose Argood. Jasmine plans to attend Kilgore College and transfer to Tyler Junior College to become a labor and delivery nurse. Jasmine Aragwin. Next we have Madison Dans. Madison is a 4-year member. She's accompanied by her parents, Daryl and Kim Dans. She plans on becoming an EMT paramedic when she graduates. Madison Dans. Next is Jasmine Johnson. She is a first-year Honey Bear. She is being met on the field by her mother, Shay Mays, and her brother, Avery. Jasmine plans to attend Kilgore College to pursue a nursing degree and become an NICU nurse. Jasmine Johnson. Next up is Jayla Roberson. Jayla is a 2-year member of the drill team. Joining her on the field is her mother, Lakeisha McKenzie. Jayla plans on attending Prairie View A&M. She would like to become a dermatologist. Jayla Roberson. Next is Madeline Timmons. Madeline is a 4-year member, has been a social officer, and is currently a senior lieutenant. Joining Madeline is her mother, Jessica Walker, and her father, Michael Timmons. Madeline plans on going to Kilgore College and pursue a degree in nursing. Madeline Timmons. Mrs. Clark will miss each one of you and would like to thank you for all that you have done so far this year to make this a great football season. Parents, thank you so much for the help you have given this year.
Yeah, I'm like, what's wrong with it? Actually, I was too cold to sit down there. I walked in, I'm like, what is that screen? It's like some demo mode or something.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Never seen
we
it.
will continue our halftime performance with the GHS Majorette and Flag Line. Members of the line are junior and line captain Nikki Campbell, junior Peyton Morgan, freshman Janae Holly, and sophomore Catherine McKinney. Joining them for this performance are members of the GMS Majorette and Flag Line, Susie Perez and Alyssa Bailey. Line members of the week are the GMS Majorette and Flag Line. The ladies will be performing to All I Do Is Win.
I'm inside now. I don't need it. I'm inside now.
The band will now continue your halftime entertainment with a traditional military the
Figured since I don't want to be out there where it's cold, so I'm like, might as well follow it. Asked my wife for my coat, asked her for some food, and she
The band is led on the field by senior drum major Pamela Zarate. Their seniors who are performing in their last halftime show at Jack B. Murphy Bear Stadium. We would like to honor them for all their years of hard work and dedication to the GISD band program. First up is Caden McCaskill. Caden is the son of Chris McCaskill and Mandy Shelton. He is accompanied by his father this evening. Caden plays the trombone and has been in the band since the 6th grade. He was selected as our band beau this year. Caden McCaskill. Next up is Darian Simmons. Darian is the son of Sean Simmons and Latoya Shepard. He is escorted by his mom and his grandmother, Ari Simmons. Darian has played the tuba in the band since the 6th grade. He earned the first division in solo and ensemble contest and is the current tuba section leader. Darian Simmons. Next up is Janet Aguilar. Janet is the daughter of Alejandro and Norma Aguilar. She is joined on the field by her parents. She has spent 7 years in the band program and plays the flute. Janet Aguilar. Edith Alvarez. Edith is the daughter of Juan Alvarez and Erica Martinez, who are escorting her here tonight. Edith has played the flute since the 6th grade. Edith Alvarez. Up next is Dessa Bigby. Dessa is the daughter of Jimmy and Donnie Richardson. Tonight she is escorted by her parents. Dessa has played the flute in our band since the 6th grade. Dessa Bigby. Next up is Mackenzie Dans and Madison Dans. Mackenzie and Madison are the daughters of Daryl and Kimberly Dans. Both girls have been in the band since the 6th grade. Mackenzie plays the clarinet and Madison plays the alto saxophone. Tonight they are being joined by their parents and their sister, Morgan Dans. Mackenzie and Madison. David Head. David is the son of Sean Head and Jennifer Dumas, who are standing with him this evening. David has played the tuba during his 7 years with the Gladewater Band program. David Head. Up next is Galen Hernandez. Galen is accompanied tonight by his mother, Adana Hernandez. Galen plays the trumpet and has been in the band since the 6th grade. Galen Hernandez.
Yeah.
Up next is Jasmine Johnson. Jasmine
never gone there
is
and
the
get
daughter of
anything.
Shay Meigs. She is
The first
escorted
year
by
I
her
went to try
mother
to
and
get
her
something, the
brother,
lady went,
Avery
no, you
Meigs.
can't have this. And I
She has
stared
played
at
the
her.
clarinet since the 6th grade.
No, last year. I stared at
Jasmine
her,
Johnson.
and I turned around and then walked into here. And I don't know what she did.
Next is Ryan Martin.
She retired last
Ryan
year.
is standing with his
I don't think
parents,
she
Chris
liked
Martin
anybody.
and Jennifer Martin. Ryan has been in the Gladewater Band program since the 6th grade. Ryan plays the trumpet. Ryan Martin. Next up is Desiree Peavy. Desiree is joined by her mother, Jennifer Teckersley, and her stepfather, Randy Cox. She plays the flute and has been a member of our band since the 6th grade. Desiree Peavy. Up next is Jennifer Rivera. Jennifer is escorted tonight by her parents, Araceli Hernandez and Roberto Aragon. She has been in the band since the 6th grade and plays the flute. Jennifer Rivera. Up next is Jaden Sherry. Jaden is the daughter of Justin and Roxanne Sherry, who are standing with her this evening. Jaden plays the flute and has been in the band since the 6th grade. Jaden was selected as our band sweetheart this year. Jaden Sherry. Cynthia Vicente. Cynthia is the daughter of Maria and Juan Vicente, who are escorting her tonight. She has played the clarinet in the GISD band since joining in the 7th grade. Cynthia Vicente. Next up is Caleb Williams. Caleb is the son of Mace Williams and Nicole
Well, folks, welcome back. We are getting ready for this second half of play here. Gladewater 21, White Oak nothing. In that first quarter, Sam, it looked like the defensive game that we were counting on, and then Gladewater came alive.
Well, it did, and we really got off to it was not a slow start. It was just good defense on both sides of the ball, and we had not gone that long, I think, without a score since we started this gig. So it was good to get a feel for the game and how it was going, and then Gladewater kind of blew it up a little bit, and White Oak finished that first half with down on the goal line before it got picked off. So here we are Bears about to receive the kickoff on the south end, and there it is, and it's a little pooch kick, fielded cleanly.
And that was Eli Carter returning it there for the Bears.
And so Bears will take over on, it looks like about the 20, I'm going to call it the 29. I'm not sure exactly till they said it. It is 29-yard line on the right hash.
So Gladewater lost the toss at the beginning of the game. White Oak elected to receive it in the first half. So Gladewater gets the first offensive possession here. A couple of big touchdown passes and a rushing touchdown back in the first half as Holmes lines up under center.
One back. I'm sorry, two
He'll
back.
take the
There
snap,
we go.
hand it off to Walker up the middle. Walker will get just about a yard gain before he's brought down. That'll bring up second and 9 for the Bears.
And I see on a tackle there, Casey Burden for White Oak. White Oak now, defensively, they look like they're in an even front, a four-man defensive line, which was a little bit of change from what we saw earlier, maybe based on formation.
Holmes back under center. Gladewater set back up in the eye. He takes a snap. He's going to fake the handoff, drops back, throws, and the ball is tipped. Colin Lewis diving for it. He's going to miss it. That was a tremendous effort by Colin Lewis trying to make something out of that play. The ball was tipped right there as it passed over the line of scrimmage. So that'll bring up third down.
And on defense for the White Oak Roughnecks was number 2. And I'm like you on that name, Gavin. How about we just call him by his first name, Gavin?
I'm fine with that.
But, again, just great effort by Colin watching the ball and coming back.
This time Holmes lined up on the gun. He'll drop back a few steps. He's looking, and sack! The ball is loose, and it's picked up by White Oak. That is Riley Redden with the sack in the backfield. Fumbled the ball. I believe that was Logan Smith on the recovery, Sam. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, and number 75, Kaysen Burden was there also, kind of protecting his man with the ball. So one turnover as we start the second half, and the ball goes over. White Oak Roughnecks take over.
And they're taking over deep inside Gladewater territory on the Gladewater 29-yard line. Quarterback Krieger in the gun. He's going to hand it off to Frazier. Frazier stopped up the middle by Bohannon, and he'll be pulled back a little bit. That was about a 2-yard loss on that play. Well, we talked at the very beginning of this game, Sam, about the White Oak defense. They typically, per game, don't give up but 18 points to opponents, and they gave up 21 to Gladewater in the first half. I imagine they didn't take that too kindly.
I don't think they were happy with that.
Krieger takes the snap. It's a little high, but he's going to roll right. Pass over to, and it's dropped.
And
Pass was intended for Dalton Morgan.
And that was just probably a yard short of a first down had he completed that. But that little rolling pocket seems to be an effective way for White Oak to try to throw out of, and their receivers kind of know which way to break and turn to get in the open.
White Oak will line back up. Krieger in the gun. Hard count again. He'll take the snap. He's dropping back several steps. Still dropping back. Pass is complete up the middle. But he'll be stopped by a brigade of Bears.
And there's a number of Bears there.
That was Landon Griffith catching it.
And that's number 82, I believe, for the Bears. Zach Shipp playing some defense the last few plays. So they made a couple of yards. It's going to be a 4th down and about, I'm going to call it 8. And it looks like they are going to go for it.
Looks like we're starting this half about the same way we started the first half. Defense, defense, defense. Krieger set back in the shotgun. He's going to fake the handoff. He's rolling right. Pressure from the Bears. He's still going right. He's being pursued.
And he gets, I believe he's got enough for the first down.
That's about first down plus about 3.
Rajon Johnson had him, and he got away from him. He broke a tackle, and that's when he got outside and had a little running room. So Gladewater really had containment till he broke a tackle there.
Wide Oak going no huddle. Take the snap from the shotgun, hand it off to Frazier. Frazier up the middle. He's pushed back, driven back by a brigade of Bears. They're going to give him probably about 2 on forward progress. That'll be 2nd down. Maybe none on forward progress.
I think they're going to get about 2 or 3. You're right.
Okay. Well, should have gone with my first guess.
So about a 2-yard gain, but he was stood up and held up. So White Oak now 2nd and about 8. They're inside the 15. Roll out to the left.
Throws left. Pass is complete
to number 10.
Sam Dusek.
So that is a completion and brings the ball down inside the 5. White Oak in a hurry up.
Krieger set up in the shotgun. He takes the snap, hands it to Frazier. Frazier up the middle. He's stopped. That is Trent Bolt slamming the door.
He actually loses a couple of yards there, and he is, I think, right at the 5-yard line.
Discussing some technical things there. Krieger gets set back up. He's in the shotgun, takes a snap, fakes the handoff. He's moving right, pressure, breaks the tackle. Pass is incomplete. Well, that was Rajon Johnson bringing pressure in the backfield.
Yes, he's getting pressure. Quarterback ended up getting outside of him, but by then there was good coverage, and that ended up being incomplete. So we are looking at
it's a 3rd and goal situation.
3rd and 5. So no chance for a first down. They got to score or the ball will go over. So 3rd down from the 5.
Krieger in the shotgun, 1 man behind him. He'll take the snap, hands it off. It's Frazier. Frazier up the middle. He's fighting, but he's going to be stopped. A brigade of Bears led by...
I see Lincoln getting up from there.
I see Jasper Taylor.
And I see Werner coming out of that pile. So just really great defense. They did pick up a couple. It looks like the ball is on about the 2-yard line.
And I was wrong about Jasper Taylor.
It's going to be 4th down here. They're going to go for it. Trips to the right.
Crowd's getting loud. Krieger in the shotgun. He's rolling left. He's looking for a man. Throws. Passes
no
incomplete.
Good. Incomplete. No flags.
No flags. Phenomenal coverage by the Gladewater Bears.
So they set up a strong side, a wide receiver, 2 slot men all to the right, 1 split receiver to the left, and they ended up going weak, throw to the single coverage to the split end on the left, and it's not a complete. So Bears take over on the 2-yard line, make a great goal line stand, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Gladewater Bears, facing about a 98-yard drive to go score.
Well, and we talked about it in the pregame as they break the huddle. The Gladewater defense has been stout, especially these last few games. As Holmes takes the snap, he's going to keep it himself, running up the middle. It looks good for about a 3 or 4 yard gain.
He gets a little bit of room. 7:08 left in the 3rd quarter. Still 21 Bears, 0 for the Roughnecks.
Folks,
And
if you're just joining us, you missed a whole lot of action to start off the second half.
so right now, Bears have a 2nd and 8 coming off their own goal line. I would not be surprised to see a long pass come along right here.
Well, when they break the snap, Holmes is under center in the I. He's got 2 men over here to his right side. He's going to take the snap. He hands it off to the tailback. Carter trying to get loose, but he's going to be stopped right about the line of scrimmage for no gain.
And
there is multiple flags on the play.
And I'm not sure. I looked down to see something on my list here. Eli Carter.
That's personal foul charged against the Bears, Sam.
Eli Carter really is just never more than a step away from a long run, maybe even a touchdown. So I don't know who said something or did something, but it looks like it's against the Bears. Carter's coming off the field. He's taking his helmet off. Officials are having a little huddle out there, so we'll see what was going on. I don't know if Carter's out. Looks like
he came off in disgust.
Well, let's see what the call is on this play.
Well, the original flag was on personal foul against the Bears. And then there was an additional flag thrown.
And it was as Carter walked toward his sideline, so I don't know. Of course, we're up here. We can't hear the sounds from down there. And they don't really consult us about what's going on. So anyway, the clock is running. It's going to be 3rd down, was half the distance to the goal line. Ball's on the 2. So let's see what the Bears have for a 3rd and 10.
Holmes under center. He takes the snap. He's going to drop back. Throws left quick. Pass complete. That's to DJ Allen. That's for a 1st down and then some.
All right.
He's brought down just inside the 25-yard line. That's a huge 1st down. Boy, the Bears needed that bad.
So that was a very timely catch. And if you could hear inside our booth, Avon and Michelle are making a lot of silent noise. So
there's lots of waving of the arms.
Yes. So they are celebrating with us. But that moves the ball up to just inside the 25. A little bit of breathing room now.
Holmes back under center. He's going to take the snap, hands off to Walker. Walker up the middle. Walker with about a 3-yard gain on that carry, Sam.
You know, I see a lot of offensive linemen getting up after that initial push for that 3-yard gain. So the trench wars are going on, and it's a pretty big war down there. There's a lot of pushing, shoving, rooting, growling, I'm sure, and a lot of work going on down there that most folks don't see. So good job on both sides of the ball there.
Well, and credit to these teams. They're both very, very physical, like you're talking about. As Holmes takes the snap from under center, throws quick to his right. Pass will go incomplete off the hands of Lewis.
And I think that ball was deflected a little bit too. I think somebody got a hand in there because it looked kind of awkward after it left his hand. So I think it got a little tip on it and made Lewis try to get to where he could catch it. So that brings up a 3rd and 6 for the Gladewater Bears. Again, Holmes bringing in the play and calling it as the Gladewater Bears break the huddle.
They'll set up. Looks like Holmes is going to be in the shotgun this time. He's got 2 men wide to his left. 1 man in the backfield with him. He'll take the snap, drops back. He's looking. He's throwing left. Pass incomplete. It was intended for Kavia Reese.
And Reese is open, and the ball is a little bit short. And so that'll bring up a punting situation as the punt team comes in. And it's a 4th and 6. Ball is inside the 30 on about the 23-yard line, I'm going to say. So Bears in punt formation.
Hassick with the punt. It's going to go straight up into the air. And will go out of bounds just about the 37-yard line of Gladewater. So White Oak will take over inside Bear territory again.
So that is about an 8-yard punt. Goes off the side of his foot. So White Oak Roughnecks going to take over on the 38-yard line of Gladewater on the left hash.
Well, and Gladewater's up 21-0, but credit both defenses of the Bears and the Roughnecks. They've been slugging it out here this whole game. As Krieger sets up in the shotgun, he's going to take the snap, dropping back. He's throwing down the middle. It's going up in the air. Pass complete to Dalton Morgan for the Roughneck touchdown.
And they ran 2 receivers deep, and they were both open. And so Bears either not expecting that or just a blown coverage, but that will put White Oak on the board for their first score with 4:01 left in the third quarter, 21-6 with the PAT coming for the Roughnecks.
That was about a 45-yard touchdown pass from the quarterback, Dylan Krieger. Kick from Brian Smith is good.
So at the 4:01 mark in the third quarter, we've got the Gladewater Bears 21 and the White Oak Roughnecks now on the board with 7 points on a scoring pass for their touchdown. And so they'll be kicking off to the Bears again. And maybe this time we'll get a little momentum going our way on the offensive side of the ball and not have a turnover. We've had, 2 turnovers by the Bears tonight?
2 turnovers. And remember, we had the big interception back in the first half. Believe that was Nick Lincoln on that one?
I believe that's right. I didn't write it down.
DJ Allen had the interception there at the very end of the second half.
That's right. So
Nick Lincoln's been making a lot of noise. Eli Cates had the big sack there in the first half as well.
Yes, he did. So White Oak teeing the ball up on the 40 for the kickoff.
Smith getting the ball set up. Credit to these 2 defenses because especially that front line of White Oak has been doing a number to stop the Bears' run game tonight. But credit to the Bears' front line as well. Jackson Frazier, who's carried basically every single
and it's an onside kick. And looks like the Bears have the ball. I can't see. That's on the far side away from us, but we had one Bear knock it down. And
that's Bears ball, and that is Zay Campbell coming up with it.
Okay, so good job by the Bears. Much better field position now.
Zay Campbell picked up the fumble in the first quarter, too.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
So, kid's got some hands.
So we're looking at the left hash, 46-yard line, almost at midfield. And we'll see what the Bears have in store for us offensively.
Bears starting in real good field position this time as Holmes brings in the play to the huddle. The pass game has worked so far. Holmes, 3 of the passes he's completed, all in the first half, were a first down and 2 touchdowns. So as he comes under center, he drops back, hands it off to – he's keeping it himself, rolling right. Can't find a man. He's going to be brought down back at the line of scrimmage, but there is a flag on the play in the backfield.
So that was a fake on the sprint draw going to their left, and he continued to roll to his right to the Bear sideline. And I don't know if there was not anybody open, but it looks like we had a hold call as one of his linemen was out there trying to keep one of the Roughneck defenders off of his quarterback. And I think he got a little jersey in there, so they got a 10-yard penalty. So it's now going to be first down and 20. So
Sam, did the play collapse, or was it just good coverage by White Oak?
Well, I don't know. I was kind of watching in the backfield here, and I didn't look downfield because I really wasn't sure if he's going to run or throw at that point.
Well, this time he's set up in the shotgun. Got 2 men over here to his right side. He's going to take the snap. Snap's a little low, but he's going to pitch it quick to Lewis. Lewis catches it, and he's going to go.
He breaks 1 tackle, and he gets, I'm going to say, 7 yards of that 10-yard penalty back, down to 3:35 left in the third quarter. So it's now going to be 2nd down and 13.
Which is a little bit more manageable than we're actually just back at the original. We're almost back to the original line of scrimmage.
So a couple more just good pickups like that, and we'll be in good shape.
Well, Holmes is back in the shotgun this time. He'll take the snap. He's dropping back. He's looking for his man. Throws to his right. Pass complete. That's DJ Allen. That's a 1st down for the Bears. That'll move the chains.
And that ball will be marked at the 41-yard line. And Bears across midfield down into Roughneck territory. Gladewater that time had 3 receivers to their left toward the White Oak sideline and a single receiver down here to the right into their sideline, and that's who they threw to after a fake off the run play. So that seems to be a pretty good combination for him out of that shotgun.
Well, it doesn't
set.
hurt that your single receiver over here is DJ Allen either.
No, it doesn't.
As Holmes lines back up in the shotgun, he's got 2 more men over here to his right side, takes a snap. He's looking right. He throws right. Passes miraculously complete. That is, how do you pronounce it? Keave Reese. Double coverage, and he brings it down.
I mean, he threaded the needle, and Keave did a great job coming back to the ball and then protecting it because he knew it was fixing to get hit by at least 2. So they're going to mark that at the 31, and I believe they're going to measure that one. It's close. Nope, it is a 1st down. They're calling it right now.
That'll move the chains. Keave Reese. Huge reception there for the Bears.
So the Bears sustaining a little bit of a drive here and have moved the ball significantly down the field. The pass has been a big part of this drive. So passing game is opening up. Bears break the huddle.
Holmes is under center in the eye. Takes a handoff. Hands it to Malachi Gordon. Gordon up the middle. And he's going to make about a 3-yard gain before he's stopped. That'll bring up 2nd and about 7.
And, you know, the Roughnecks, they're making it very tough for the Bears to run up the middle. But they're pounding away, chipping away. Sometimes it's like hammering on a big block of granite. You know, you keep chipping and chipping away, and sometimes you got to resharpen your chisel. But if you keep at it, you end up with something when you're done, and it's not just a rock.
Well, and they have more than capable rushers to make that happen, and a lot to pick from. As Holmes is in the shotgun, he takes the snap. He's looking left this time.
Oh, my goodness.
Pass broken up by none other than Dylan Krieger, the quarterback, playing a little defense there.
Well, if he doesn't break that up, that's another 6 points for the Bears. So that's a great defensive play. And sometimes, you know, a great defensive play is a bad offensive play, but it was a good offensive play. They just did a great job of breaking it up.
I may have called that wrong. That may have been number 7 on that, not number 1. You'll have to forgive my janky binoculars. As Holmes is back in the shotgun. He'll keep it himself. He's running to his right. Up the middle a little bit along the hash mark, and he's brought down.
He's going to be a little bit short of the 1st down. I'm going to say less than 3 yards. We may call it 3, but it's about 2.5 yards. That's a 4th down situation from the 23-yard line.
And no, I just verified that was Dylan Krieger with that coverage.
Yeah, I think you had it right. Yes.
Kids, if you take the STAR test, don't second guess yourself. You're usually right the first time. Holmes lined up in the shotgun, empty backfield. He'll take the snap. He's throwing right. The ball is tipped, but pass is complete to Colin Lewis.
That's good for a 1st down, and Colin Lewis is going to be given forward progress to the 15. So 1st down, 15-yard line, right hash, Bears on a drive. We're down to 35 seconds left with the clock running in this 3rd quarter.
Boy,
so
Colin Lewis, the sophomore, making his name heard. He's already caught 1 touchdown pass tonight.
So
He's made up a lot of huge first downs for the Bears.
Yes, he has. I don't know if they'll get this one off, but it looks like they're going to get one more play in this quarter.
Holmes in the shotgun, one man in the backfield. He's going to take the snap and keep it himself.
He's got
going
room.
right.
He's got room.
He's going to be brought down right at the 10-yard line for about a 5-yard gain.
He had a little bit of room as we watch time run out here in this third quarter. We'll swap ends, and the Bears will go in and try to score in the south end. But it's going to be a 2nd and 5, I believe. So that was a good run. He had some room there, and as he committed and made his run up in there, that hole closed, and he got hit by 2 of the Roughneck defenders, and they made really a good tackle to stop him for no more gain than he had. So good job of him running, and a good job of making a tackle that saved a touchdown by the Roughnecks.
Absolutely. And Sam, got a few scores to report from around the area and around the district. Tatum opening up on Jefferson right now, 30-7 over there in Tatum. Gilmer 22 at halftime over Liberty Ilo 14. West Rusk 29 over Harmony 12. Troop right now has a 41-0 lead over Grand Saline.
Wow. That's
and
good.
Mount Vernon and Winsboro are tied 20-all with 10 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Lot of good Friday night action going on tonight. So the Bears come down to the south end. They're at 2nd down. The ball's on the 9-yard line in the right hash. So it's 2nd down and 4 to go for a first. So they could possibly make a first down without scoring. But we're going to see what they do right now as they break the huddle and go to the ball.
We really like points on the board, Sam, if we can make that happen. Holmes will be in the shotgun, one man in the backfield. Takes the snap. He's going to drop back, throws left. Pass is incomplete, broken up
by number 10. And
that's Sam
the other
Dusek.
one. But that was intended for Colin Lewis. They had 2 receivers set to the left. Colin was the inside receiver, and he broke in toward the post on middle of the field on a post route, and just a little high and broken up. So that'll bring us to 3rd and 4 from the 9, and we'll see what the Bears. They got a single wide receiver to the top, same formation, 2 down low.
Pardon me, Sam, while I bump into you to
That's
see out this
okay.
window.
Oh.
Holmes in the gun. Looks like somebody jumped. There's a flag on the play. That's false start against the Bears.
And that was, I believe that was Tyler Smith maybe. I'm not sure. Right tackle for the Bears jumped. White Oak had a player jump. He jumped, and, of course, it was on the Bears.
Well, and you get so keyed up in these moments. Holmes in the shotgun takes the snap. He's going to throw left. It's in the air. Pass is broken up, but there is a flag on the play. Incomplete.
And that is number 2, I think, for White Oak. We said we'd call him Gavin. That's his first name. My print is super small on this. Can you see that? Is that BZDIL? I'm letting Michelle look at my program.
People listening to the White Oak game, we really want to pronounce this young man's name right, but there's 3 consonants right next to each other. We're not sure.
So anyway, good play, but a flag on one of them. We're not sure which way it's going.
Well, holding against Gladewater, and then looked like blocking the back against White Oak. Those penalties are going to offset, Sam.
And it looks like we'll do 3rd down again.
Give it another shot.
So offsetting. So in our infinite wisdom and knowledge, we didn't see either one of those, but we thought we had another penalty. So we actually missed 2, and the one we saw really wasn't a penalty. So much for our expertise, Dylan.
That's why they pay us the big bucks, Sam. Holmes set up in the shotgun. One man in the backfield. He's going to take the snap, looking right. Throws downfield. Pass is broken up. That is Noah Carter on the coverage that time. It'll bring up 4th down for the Bears. That's impressive coverage by the Roughnecks.
That was excellent defense. And okay, so we have an interpretation.
Bizdil. Gavin Bisdill is number 2. Our apologies to Gavin's family for mispronouncing his name.
You know, we want to get everyone right, but even with a name like Chenoweth, I've been called a lot of things, and some of them had nothing to do with my name. So we got the field goal unit on. Hasek is there to kick. Ball's down. It's up.
That's good.
And it's good. So that brings the score with 11 minutes and 40 seconds left in the final quarter. Gladewater Bears 24, White Oak Roughnecks are at 7. So the Bears kick one of the few field goals I see them kick, because usually there's a touchdown scored. But we're glad to get a field goal in. And it was a nice kick.
Well, and Hasek has a leg. We don't ever get to see him really kick field goals that often because, like you said, normally getting in the end zone. But it really helps. It really makes you feel a little better that even getting pushed back a little bit like that drive was, you've still got a young man that can come in there and put 3 points up on the board. So
as we get ready with this fourth quarter just underway, we're at 11:40. Bears are going to kick off. Of course, we've seen 1, 2, 3. We've seen 4 type of kickoffs from the Bears tonight. An onside to the left, an onside in the middle, a kind of a pooch kick, and a deep kick. So we're not sure what to expect, but what are you looking for from the White Oak Roughnecks as they take offense, a new series of offense with 11:40 in the fourth quarter, down by a couple of touchdowns?
I'm thinking put points on the board as fast as I can. I'm thinking field position and make the most out of it. As he kicks it deep, it's going to be picked up, returned. Over on the left side, he's at the 30. He'll go out of bounds just short of the 35. That's Colton Cobb on the return. He's been back deep pretty consistently for the Roughnecks, but they're starting in decent field position, blocking the back.
And we've got a Bear down. I cannot see a number over there. He's getting helped up right now. He's going to come. He's going back down.
Well, there was a flag on the play over here too. So charged against White Oak. That was a block in the back. Looked like what the referee signaled. So
there'll be a hesitation here, a little pause as they attend to an injured Gladewater Bear over near the 30-yard line on the Roughneck sideline. So I'm not sure. We can't see a number. We don't know who that is, but they're tending to him right now. So,
well, Sam, we're looking at a 3-possession game right now. Still definitely not over with. I don't know. If you're White Oak right now, what are you looking to do to get down the field right now?
Well, that's what I was fixing to ask a while ago. I really think they're going to have to keep throwing the ball. The rolling pocket where the quarterback's rolling out one way or another, and then receivers even crossing the field coming to that side, they've had some success doing that. Their run game has seen some success too. So we don't really know, but I'm going to look for them to throw the ball, but they've got to be able to throw it successfully to decrease this margin that Gladewater has right now.
Absolutely. That's DJ Allen coming off the field. He was the Bear that was injured, but he's coming off under his own power, walking a little slowly, but he's walking nonetheless.
So White Oak has got a wide receiver to the top, 2 wide receivers to the bottom on this side, and they are shotgun with 1 setback.
Krieger set back. He's going to take the snap, fakes the handoff, drops back. Now he's running forward. He's keeping it himself up the middle. 35, and he's brought down just short of the 40. That's Devin Walker tackling him. And that's good for a White Oak first down.
That is a first down. They're going to spot that ball at the 38, just inside the 38. White Oak in a hurry-up situation.
Krieger back in the shotgun. 2 men over here to his right. He'll take the snap. Hands it off to Frazier this time, and Frazier doesn't get anywhere. Maybe 1 yard gain. He's brought down. That looks like Chris Perry on that tackle.
Okay, so they're staying in the same formation with the two receivers to the right.
They're not wasting
receiver
any
wide,
time.
one back.
Krieger in the gun, giving the hard count. He takes the snap. He's going to roll right. Past the hash mark, he throws right. Pass is incomplete. Broken up by Ben Alvarez. That's some impressive coverage by number 15 right there.
And that was Dalton Morgan that they were trying to throw to, and Alvarez just stepped in front and knocked that ball down. So very good play on his part. That brings us 3rd and 9. So again, kind of a passing down. The Bears have got to get a little bit better at containing that quarterback without going up the field too far.
As Krieger takes the snap, he fakes the handoff.
He's
buried in the pocket. He escapes the tackle. And he doesn't escape that one. That's Eli Cates. Bringing him down in the backfield.
And I see Bohannon there and one other one. I'm trying to figure out who that is. I think that was Campbell for the Bears. I think that was 32 I see. Yeah. So
Zay Campbell, we've called his name.
He broke the quarterback, broke one tackle, and then had 2 more Bears that were able to get him, and it's actually a loss of about 3 yards, I believe.
Well, he'll line up, same formation, 2 men over to his left side to throw to, 1 man in the backfield. He takes the snap, drops back. He's looking, throws left. Pass is incomplete. I'm not exactly sure who he intended to throw that to.
Well, I'm going to say that was number 10, Sam Dusek, and I think it was just thrown high. The outside receiver was not that deep, and he had run a route, that kind of a stop route in there, and I just think it was a high pass.
Well, and that will result in a turnover on down. Sam, we've seen a lot of
going for it on 4th down.
I'm all about that. That's aggressive play right there.
So Bears take over inside of White Oak territory on the 37-yard line.
And DJ Allen, who came off the field hurt on defense, he is not in right this second. As Gordon takes the handoff up the middle, that's good for a 7-yard gain. He found a seam right there.
So good first down play with Malachi Gordon carrying that ball and just running kind of up the middle of the left side of that line, behind that left side with some of the guys we've called out before, Keller and Ship, and I'd say Taylor over there too, Jasper Taylor. So making some running room for those guys.
Holmes lines up under center, takes the snap. He's giving it back to Gordon. Gordon's going back up the middle. That's good for a first down. And then about 5 additional.
I tell you what, he made one little slide to his left and right and ducked his head and just churned those feet and plowed for about 4 more yards. It was a good run.
Well, Sam, you talked about chipping away at this defense, and you have to imagine, as intense as this game has been and how much battle there's been here on this line of scrimmage, that the defense has to be getting tired at some point.
It is, and they talk about the defense getting tired instead of the offense, but the offense knows where they're going. The defense has to expend more energy trying to figure out and read blocks and play people off. So,
well, they're going to line up in the same formation. Holmes under center. He's handing off to Gordon. Gordon back up the middle again. He's going to get a short gain of, about 4 yards. We'll take that. 2nd down.
We'll take 4 every time we touch the ball.
Well, if you have 3 4-yard carries in a row, you get a first down and then some.
That's right. That's right.
That's math that even I can do.
It won't leave you with a 3rd and 2, will it?
No, sir.
3rd and 2, don't know what to do.
That's pretty good there, Sam.
Well, every now and then I find one. Bears break the huddle.
Gladewater breaks the huddle. They're back in the I. Holmes under center. Malachi Gordon way back there again. Walker immediately behind him. He'll take the snap. Hands off to Gordon again. Gordon back up the middle.
Not much room there that time. But it's still a gain of a yard, maybe 2. I think maybe a yard. That's going to give us probably 3rd and 4 maybe.
I would say so. And when it comes to chipping away, it's not like Gladewater has one rusher that they're having to consistently hand the ball to all 4 quarters. You've got Devin Walker. you've got Malachi Gordon, and then you've got the Russian leader on the team, Eli Carter. So they've got a lot of weapons there to hit that White Oak front line with.
So we got 2 receivers up top, tight end to the left.
Holmes under center. He'll take the snap. He's dropping back. Hands it off to Gordon. Gordon going to his right past the hash mark. He's past the 15. He's brought down at the 12.
I believe it's good for a first. We'll watch and see, but I think that's going to be a move the chain situation. Yep. Here they go. They're going to move the chains.
Huge first down.
So ball is on the 13, right hash. So they theoretically, if they can get inside the 3, they can get another set of downs, but maybe they won't need it, Dylan. Maybe they can get a touchdown here. We're at 6 minutes and 32 seconds and counting. Bears break the huddle.
Well, they can't let up because this is about where on the last drive they had to settle for a field goal. Holmes under center. He'll take the snap, hands it right, keep it in himself, running up the middle, moving a little bit to the left.
Oh, my goodness.
He's just inside the 5-yard line when he's brought down. That is Tristan Holmes keeping it himself.
And he carried the mail that time. He ran in the middle in traffic, and that was a good run.
That was just short of a 1st and goal right there. It's about 2nd and 1.
That ball is just inside the 5-yard line with a 2nd and 1. We're down to 5:53 on the clock. And Bears got 2 receivers wide right, tight end left, I formation.
Holmes back under center. He's going to take the snap. He hands it to Malachi Gordon. Gordon going right. Back up the middle. Touchdown, Gladewater.
Gordon with a nice run. Starts to his right, breaks it back left, and goes into the end zone.
I think they found that seam in the big gap that they've been looking for all night.
I told you that gap was a little bit wider, 1 hole wider. He found it that time. And so with 5:40 left, Gladewater is on the books for 30 points. The White Oak Roughnecks are at 7. And PAT about to come here. Hassett kicks it. And I believe that one is good. Yes, sir, it is. And a flag in the air. So let's see what this flag is about before they give them the points. If it's good and it's declined, if it's on White Oak, it'll be 31-7. And everybody's coming off the field, so it looks like maybe that's what happened. I don't know. I didn't see a signal for the penalty, but let's see what they...
Penalty charged against
it was offsides, I believe. I think maybe they lined up offsides. So the point will stand 31-7. And the Bears will kick off from the north end, 40-yard line, to the White Oak Roughnecks down on the south end. So we got a little pause in the action here.
Well, and credit to White Oak because right now it's 31-7, Gladewater over White Oak. And don't get me wrong, we're happy to see that. But credit to White Oak for the battle that they have put up. They have fought this entire game, and it's obvious watching the game, Sam, that these were 2 undefeated teams coming in going toe-to-toe.
Well, the thing is that they've not made anything easy for the Bears. Bears have had to, like we said, chip away at that rock and find what was open, and that takes a while. You know, all the first half it was pretty close on a lot of things. There were defensive stops on both sides and big plays on offense on both sides, but somehow Gladewater ended up with the most points, and then they've added, 10 more points to that this second half.
A little bit of insurance. The penalty back on the PAT assessed at the kickoff, so Hassick will kick from the 45, and it's a little onside kick. That's White Oak on it. That is
number 25.
Michael Stevens.
That.
Had a scrap of paper land on my roster. I almost couldn't read it.
So Gladewater kicks off after their last touchdown. White Oak takes over. The ball is going to be on the 32-yard line on the right hash. 5:38 left.
No timeouts used by either team here. Just a little trivia there. He sets up, Takes a snap, rolling left, keeping it himself. Pressure. Ball is loose and recovered by the quarterback, Eli Cates, doing it again.
Eli did a very good job of two things on that play. Number one is he kept containment on a quarterback that's been able to roll out and get outside of the contained coverage, and he did it without going too far up the field so that when the quarterback pulled up, he had a chance to make the tackle as well, and he did both of those things.
Bears defense not letting up. Krieger takes the snap from the shotgun, throws left, pass complete, and Bears are on it immediately. Pass complete to Dusek. Again, my apologies for the pronunciation of the names, but Bear coverage not letting up. It'll be 3rd and 12 for the Roughnecks.
So ball is on just inside the 30. Nose of it may be touching the 30-yard line. They got 2 wide receivers to the bottom, 1 wide to the top. Shotgun, single setback, Dylan.
Krieger in the gun. He takes the snap. Throws downfield. Passes caught.
Oh, my goodness.
By Cobb. Cobb is loose. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. That is touchdown for the Roughnecks. A huge catch and run. Dylan Krieger to Colton Cobb.
Well, I will give credit to Colton Cobb, number 5 for the Roughnecks. He went way up to get that ball, snagged the ball, was behind the coverage of the Bears, and then it was a foot race that he won into the end zone. So a pass that was thrown pretty high, great catch, and it nets 6 very quick points for the Roughnecks.
You were right. Full extension as Smith gets set to kick the extra point, which will split the uprights. That's good.
So, with 4:15 left in the fourth quarter, Roughnecks add a second touchdown for a total of 14 points to Gladewater's 31 points. So, I told you they would have to throw some, but I didn't know they were going to have to make such good catches to get there. So, a great play for them, not a good play for the Bears because he was behind everybody the Bears had. So, whatever the 2 touchdowns have both been pass plays for White Oak, and they've both been long throws where they were behind our secondary. So we've probably got to get that coverage straightened out. Even with only 4:15, it could get a lot closer if they score that quick.
Absolutely. Well, and credit, like you said, credit to these White Oak receivers because they've made some very, very athletic, even downright acrobatic catches here. And, there's a lot to be said about athleticism in your receiving core for sure.
So, Roughnecks did an onside kick last time.
If you're asking me to guess what they're fixing to do on this kickoff,
that's what I'm
I'm past guessing.
Well,
hey, onside kick it, and it's picked up by Gladewater.
But now I'm going to say it didn't go 10 yards where he touched it. Unless he touched it and it bounced back the other way. It's going to be a Gladewater ball, looks like, on the 49-yard line. So I guess it went 10 and bounced off of him back toward the Roughnecks.
Dusek.
But that is a good play.
Dusek. All right, so number 10 is pronounced Sam Dusek.
Dusek.
Appreciate that, guys. Thank y'all. Our
translator, Avon, not only is technology, he and Michelle are translators for our lingo.
That's the people from White Oak helping us.
Appreciate our friends from White Oak as Holmes is under center. Hands off to Malachi Gordon up the middle. He'll make about 5 yards before he's brought down. That'll be 2nd and 5. That was a nice run up the middle there, Sam.
So we have White Oak people checking with us to let us straighten us out. Well, that's good. I'm glad we've got viewers from both teams. So again, we're just glad that the UIL has allowed this just for people that either can't come or would prefer to social distance. And I think it's a great opportunity for high school football to get out on the airways. So as a former coach and principal, anything we do to help kids is a great thing.
Well, and how cool is it that family, even just from around the country and around the state, get to hear their family members playing as Holmes under center, hands off to Gordon. Gordon will get about 2 more yards on that carry. third down. You know, there's lots of grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins that even under normal conditions couldn't get out and travel to this game, especially with it being a little chilly like it is.
Absolutely. So, anyway, we appreciate everybody that can watch the live stream, no matter who they're rooting for. But in the booth, we try to be objective, but we are Bear fans. So, you know, we're really we try to praise both teams when they make a good play and try not to point out too many bad ones. So,
absolutely.
Anyway, Bears having a 3rd and 4.
Back in the eye, Holmes under center. He takes the snap, hands off Gordon again. Gordon up the middle.
It looks like he tripped. I don't know if he tripped on Tristan's foot, but it looks like he's going to be really close to a first down.
They're giving him first down.
All right, there you go. So a good run. It just kind of stumbled into that almost, but he kept his head down and leaned forward, and it got him the first down yardage. So, again, just another high school athlete making a very good play.
Fighting all the way to the end of the whistle. And that's the thing. There's not any quit in these Gladewater Bears. And there's not any quit in these White Oak Roughnecks either. This has been a hard-fought game.
Colin Lewis up at the top.
Holmes under center.
DJ Allen down here.
He hands off to Gordon. Gordon going up the middle. And he's stopped. He's not stopped. He's stopped, but he's not down yet.
If they mark forward progress, it's going to be at least a 4-yard gain. Let's see where they got. I got one guy's foot right on the line. Maybe 3-yard. Going to be about a 3-yard gain.
Well, glad to see DJ Allen back in the game after come up injured.
After he hobbled off.
Yep.
On what was that, a kickoff return or?
That was 4th down, change of possession. Last play of a 4th down.
Yes. So right now I believe White Oak took a timeout. They're showing to have 2 left. We're down to 1:51 on the play clock. Gladewater's ball at the 36-yard line.
Well, and just to interrupt real quick, looks like one of our district rivals is about to put this game to bed. Tatum is in the 4th quarter, 11:28. Tatum 51, Jefferson 7. So I think that one's probably.
I think we could call that
just about decided.
Yes.
I mean, it's 2020. Strange things happen, but Holmes is under center. He'll take the snap, hands off to Gordon again up the middle, and he's loose. He'll be ball is loose. Ball is recovered by Noah Carter.
They're running the clock. They may be calling him down.
We'll see.
They're running the clock. No change of possession. Gladewater still has the ball, so he must have been on the ground before they called it.
As a matter of fact.
And it's a first down.
Boy, so White Oak goes from almost recovering a fumble to not only not getting the fumble, but it being first down Gladewater.
Exactly. So, and again, we can't see everything we need to see from up here, but we get most of it right.
I would say 85% of the time we're 90% correct. As Holm hands off to Gordon. Gordon running left. He's brought down at the 25-yard line.
So we're down just fixing to be inside a minute, and we're at a 2nd down and about, I'm going to call it 8 yards. And 47 seconds left. Gladewater taking their time, letting the play clock run. I'm going to say one more play is all they're going to need, because by the time they snap it, we're going to be into the 20s. So 34 seconds left now. Gladewater in the eye. Lewis wide right.
Holmes under center. He takes the snap, hands off to Devin Walker. Walker, the ball comes loose.
And I'm thinking he's down. They're calling it down. And so
clock continues to run.
Big Tank gets the last carry of the game. And we've got 6 seconds left.
They're lining up to congratulate each other. Looks like that's going to be the end of your game,
so
Sam.
Right now we have an official Gladewater victory. Bears 31, Roughnecks 14. Again, I want to thank Avon and Michelle. I wish y'all could be up here with us and just see what a great job they do, but they keep things going, and we really appreciate them and what they do. So Gladewater Bears will travel to Sabine next week, and then they're open the last week. So tune in, and we look forward to the next time we get to call, hopefully a playoff game.
Also, one more big thank you to E-Tex for donating the hardware for all of our camera equipment. And Miss Morgan Dans, young lady operating the on-field camera. We appreciate her, student at Gladewater High School.
All righty. Thank y'all, and good night.
Good night, y'all.